All right, so now I will take you to show you my first practice I ever bought or built. It was called Lakeside Dental Spa, and still called that name. So it was here on Ezy Street, and that was the entrance of it, just on the left side. Now, this building has been sold already, and I believe there's a chiropractor working in this area now. But what I will do, I will probably take you around and show you the view that I had from this practice. I'll give you a bit of a background of why did I start and how did I start, and the small stories about it until we move to the new premises. So that is the back of the practice actually. So we had 2 levels, and that's where I used to have my suction and compressor outdoors. So we have to come outdoors and turn it on and turn it off. We had to put a small aircon there because it's getting too hot, and this little aircon was cooling down the compressor. I put some shutter there because some kids come and throw rocks and break the glass and try to break in. So put some nice shutter there. But that was my first dental chair, and that was my view from my first dental chair. It's a very nice, relaxing view.
Yeah, lovely.
And I like the idea. I always felt like dentistry is a very claustrophobic kind of like profession where you're stuck in 4 walls looking at patient mouth. There's nothing for your eyes to look to. So I always like the idea of I always had in my mind, if I ever have a practice, I'm gonna have some windows and open areas. So you're working, but you can rest your eyes and just look at something bigger and then go back and work and so on. But I think patients loved it so much in this area. So we started here in 2010. It was myself, and I had 2 staff members. First one was my first wife back then, and another young girl. She was only like 17, and that was her first job. And it was day 1. We opened the practice. They don't have experience, and I don't have experience in running a practice as well. I only have experience on how to do dentistry, but running a business, answering phones, taking billings, we had to wing everything on the first few weeks. We only know the clinical stuff, we didn't know the business stuff, so it was really hard. But fast forward a month or 2, both my staff members got pregnant at the same time. Yes, so it was myself working there. They both had severe morning sickness as well, not just normal pregnancy, severe morning sickness. So both of them will be rushing outside the practice and sometimes out for like an hour or 2. So I have to see the patient, do the dentistry, do the sterilization between patients, and do the billing and try to maintain everything as much as I can. Now, there is one story still haunts me up till now. I want to share it with you. I'm not sure to share it or not, but I'll share it.
Sure.
Right. Can I share it?
Yeah.
So picture this, all right? I'm working on this chair,
Yeah.
and my 2 staff members are sick, right? And I'm alone, probably running late.
Probably.
And
That's a normal thing for a
waiting
dentist.
room is like one big, kind of like, not couch, more like, I don't know, like a seating.
Yeah.
And there are probably 5-6 patients waiting, right? Remember, I'm very ethnic, right? Very, very ethnic. I was even more ethnic back then, my accent, everything, than now. And I had 6 patients sitting there. Probably they're not happy I'm running late. One of them I remember was a firefighter. I remember him very well, because he never came back after this. So I lost like 6 patients in one go. But I'm sitting there, running late, working on my patient, and they are sitting there on the front. And on the back office was my laptop. For some reason, it played a video or something which had the Islamic prayer out loud. So in Islam or Muslim countries, they pray 5 times a day.
Yep.
And there is a call for prayer 5 times a day.
Yeah.
And this call, very similar to when people use it if they want to blow something up.
Oh no.
Coincidentally, all right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is bad. So this played out loud in the waiting room. I'm laughing now because I know it's... Hold on.
I'm just trying to picture being in the office, so I understand.
Picture me first, then picture the patient. We'll do it from 2 areas. So I am the dentist now, and I'm working. I can hear this going out loud. I was like in my head, oh, this is like I gotta stop it, right?
Yeah.
That's me. Now picture the patient. They're sitting there. He's running late, and they hear this calling really loud. You know what calling, right? Mm-hmm. Really loud. And they see this guy, which me, coming out running from the dental room, panicking, cause trying to start on. They all just took off and never came back. Never came back.
Oh,
that was like, at least I still have 1 patient on the chair. I'm gonna finish them. And imagine this patient. I had to like calm down, like it's okay.
It's a yeah.
I had to make something up. I don't know what it is, but anyway, I lost those patients, and probably they never came back. If they remember this story, hopefully they can get over it as
I was
well.
going to say, did you ever hear about it again?
No,
No.
it's again unspoken.
Unspoken?
Yeah, I made sure my laptop was always on silent. But that's how we survived. So I started this way, and then I progressed. I always wanted to be a solo practice, just myself, team around me, and just practice solo dentistry. The turning point was I had a patient. He passed away now. He's an older guy, really nice patient. I was doing some crown preparations on his teeth. So his teeth were prepared into like smaller stumps, and my hands was in his mouth. I remember very well. I will ask my assistant for a special light tool. It's like cure to cure some of the filling or set some of his fillings. So I said light, given my accent, patient hair bite. And he went with all his strength biting into my finger with his thumbs. So it was really sharp. And I think maybe I cried internally because of the pain, the physical pain. But at that moment, I remember I was driving my car. I was like, I can't stay solo for a long time because, yes, I love dentistry, but if the only skills that you have, you lose it. Yes, you have insurance, financial, everything. You might lose your purpose or your meaning. So I thought I have to develop other skills. And that's when I decided I need to have more dentists with me. So if something happened to me, it's not just I'm a dentist. I can also be like, I can be a mentor, I can be a practice owner, I can help other associates to grow into their practice as well. And on that drive, I called Sharina, my old boss, if you remember.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, now she's my competitor, right? I said, hey, do you want to sell? Because her practice, I think, was a bit struggling after I left. Because we were starting to recruit because she was not a dentist.
Yeah.
It was very hard for her to attract good talents to work for her. So I said, hey, do you want to sell? She was like, oh, are you joking? It's like, no, I'm really serious. Do you want to sell? She thought I was sussing out her business.
Yeah.
But anyway, she wasn't planning to sell, but we ended up meeting and I ended up buying her practice to start with. Then after I bought her practice, I changed the name. That's when I changed to Fraser Shores Family Dental. Then I started to grow my practice to more than one chair. Of course, I had to relearn everything again, not just dentistry, business-wise. How to manage a larger team, how to attract dentists to work for you, how to work with associates. And it was a very interesting learning curve until we eventually grew this practice into 4 chairs and the other one to 3 chairs. Now we have a team close to 20 people. And that's when it was about time to move because we were outgrowing the business. As much as I love this lake and this view, but I knew there was an end to that. And that's when it took me like around 5 years to find the right location and the right building. And that's where I will take you to show you the new practice. So let me take you through a bit of the design of the practice. So it took me like maybe, I would say 5 years. I had the design in my head. I knew exactly how it should look like, how the workflow would be. I wanted to separate front office billing and front office check-in. I wanted also to keep patients private when they are in the waiting room, staff entry private. I wanted the chair and the sterilization to be very private as well. But I wanted to find the right land, and it took me probably 5 years to find the right size and right location. Parking was a big problem as well. You need a lot of parking if you're going to open many chairs. So I eventually settled on this land on Main Street, and that is the exterior of the practice. And I will show you around our car park as well. So I like that it's really up a hill, really high. So if we walk around there, that will be our staff room entrance. So staff room can enter and exit the practice very privately without having to go through patients from that door there. And then on this area we'll have our car park entrance. And the car park is bigger than the practice itself. A lot of dentists go really short on car parking, and if you're not a specialist, patients, if they can't find a car park, they're just gonna leave. They'll probably go find another dentist. Unless you're a specialist practice, they will wait, they will park, they will walk for like half an hour to get to you. But as a general practice, you need to have enough car parking for your patients and for your staff as well. So as you can see, we have this large car park area there that I can serve the practice. So patients will drive in here, park the car, and they will walk in from the front door right there. So it's very hard to find the right size land with the right location to tick all the boxes, and I'm lucky to have this place here. So let me take you through a tour of how the practice looks like on the inside, especially after we talk about the design. So when you walk in, you'll have our lovely reception there. So I want to always separate the reception from the billing area to keep it very private. So you'll have two team members there will greet you and welcome you. And usually from there you will be waiting in the waiting room. The waiting room, I want to keep it very simple. I want to have a lot of windows, nice and open. Again, open views from everywhere. Don't like anything that's too close or too claustrophobic. Patients can have like a cold drink or make their own coffee or their own tea. We also have like a small kids area. Feel kids needs to be entertained a little bit. We're trying to find more ideas for the kids room, so if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know. And then from there, they'll be waiting in the waiting room, and then we will take them to their dental room or operating room. So, as I said earlier with the design, I wanted to have a certain flow, so everything is flowing in a certain way. So in our old practice, new patients and patients who are coming out to get billed and steady nurses, they all seem to be meeting in some points, and it was always very awkward walking around each other. So I always wanted to have a design that everything will flow in a way that's, I feel like if there is a good flow of energy, you can grow a lot better. But if the energy is stagnant, it's really hard to grow, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So this first room is our treatment coordinator room. So she looks after certain type of procedures, certain type of patients, because some procedures like implants and sedation and orthodontics require a lot of details, a lot of questions from patients. So she looks after those patients in this room. And then from there, patient will be taken to the dental chair. So on this side we have dental chairs, and outside we have another dental chairs as well. And we have like a small room there. We have like 3D X-rays. So those 3D X-rays we use them for implant planning, orthodontic planning, and sometimes general dentistry as well for planning certain cases. With our chairs, I always want to design the rooms that, when the patient comes in, they have some entertainment, they can watch like Netflix, they can watch a football game, whatever that gets their mind off. I always believe if the patient mind is off, it's a good source of distraction and they can be more relaxed. And also I want everything to be behind the patient so they don't see what's happening in the room. A lot of patients, if they see like extraction instruments, they can get really scared. I'm always, because as a child I had like my, dental phobia with dentists when I had really bad experiences. So I'm always thinking how the patient would see and feel on the chair. And I think as a patient, if you see a needle or an instrument, it's completely turned off. You will lose it. You will start getting really worried. Also, something I always wanted to have in every room is having some sort of nitrous oxide just to help to relax some patients. We have it equipped in every room. So if the patient requires this to help them relax, they can have access to it. So all the rooms here are similar. We have one room here that's slightly bigger. Because one thing we do here in Half Bay, which is very unique, is intravenous sedation. So we have a medical anesthetist who will come to the practice. He will administer a medication to patients through their veins that will help them completely relax and be asleep. Which means 5 hours of dentistry would be like 5 seconds for them. They won't hear or smell or taste anything, while they're having treatment. So for phobic patients, it's really like a no-brainer. They will just enjoy dentistry. For non-phobic patients, again, 5 hours will become 5 seconds, which is a luxury. Then I had all the sterilization rooms in the middle. So again, the nurse can take the instruments out of the room to the sterilization room, and all works in a certain flow as well, from dirty to clean to sterile, and then they can go back into the treatment room very easily as well. Here we have our lab area. Then we have all our compressors and suctions inside there, compared to the old practice where you used to have to go out to the practice, turn it on and off. So everything can be done and fixed internally as well. We have this machine here, it's called Ceric, so we can do our crowns on the same day. So this sterilization room is for this side of the practice. Again, the flow will come in and out from the dental chairs. We have our storage rooms where we store everything there.
Very organized.
Yeah. So when patients finish their treatment on the chairs, they will walk out from the area. and same on the other corridor as well. Again, I want to have open windows, a lot of green outside as well, just to help. Imagine if you're finishing your treatment and you're walking out, you want to see something a bit, like, hopefully take your mind off whatever was happening. You can have something to look at. So when they come out from these rooms, then they will go to an area, a separate area for billing. We have our manager's office here as well. And when they come out from this area, that's where they will get all their billings done. We have this area for patients. I don't think anyone will use it to do their makeup. Sometimes you do, but even if they don't, it's there for show as well. I'll be honest with you.
It's always the kids that brush their parents make them brush their teeth
That's
after
good.
school.
Kids are good. And then they can have all the billings a bit more private than doing it in the front desk, in this area there.
Yeah.
Then after they finish, they can go outside from this way to exit the practice. So there is a bit of kind of like flow happening. So we're just transitioning our software from a normal server-based software to a cloud-based software. Because we are a very large practice, we have data for 14 years now, it takes a bit of a learning curve. So what we do, my front office manager puts this little sign there, L sign. I don't know if you do this in your business or not. The whole idea is just to soften the patients a little bit. So if the patient feel like, you're a bit slow on software and they see that, they're less cranky. I feel like if you don't tell them anything, they have the expectations, they will walk out, get billed on the spot. But to be realistic with the new software, sometimes you have to, go through some hiccups. So hopefully this will soften patients a little bit. I'll show you the staff room. And this is my lovely staff. Say good morning.
Morning.
They're all nice and early. Half an hour early. Top staff.
Yeah.
And from there we have like some locker rooms there. So staff can access this area from the practice instead of going through patients. So again, there's privacy where they enter the practice, where they exit, and where they go to the staff room without having to go through patients. In the old practice, everything was just mixed. So if you're coming out from lunch 5 minutes late, you're gonna walk through patients in shame.
Yes.
And they're gonna see you late 5 minutes.
Yes.
As you're walking in with thongs and shorts.
Or your swimmers.
When it's raining, and swimmers, they will see you walking in. So no, I thought we'll eliminate this problem by having this privacy for them.
Yeah.
That's all about it. If you have any ideas or suggestions, anything you like, let me know.